just last Tuesday, Timothy Schofield, the younger brother of Phillip Schofield, was found guilty on 11 counts of sexually abusing a boy from when he was under 16. Jurors also heard that in September 2021, the 54-year-old civilian police worker from Bath told his brother Phillip that he and the complainant had watched pornography. Now, the ITV star has insisted that his brother did not on that or any other occasion confess to any criminal behaviour, and that he was told the individual in question had reached the age of consent and that it involved no physical contact. But ultimately, the jury ruled that those claims by Timothy Schofield were false. Phillip, meanwhile, released a statement on social media after his brother's conviction that said, "These are despicable crimes and I welcome the guilty verdicts. As far as I am concerned, I no longer have a brother." Well, our very own Dan Wootton, who has a fascinating insight on this because she is a former prisons minister, has weighed in on the case today, writing in her brilliant Daily Express column that "I do not admire Phillip Schofield for stating so publicly that he no longer has a brother following the latter's conviction for sex offences. No matter what convicts have done, if they are not in for life, then it is in all our interest that they leave the gates with at least a chance of leading decent lives thereafter." And I'm delighted to say that Anne joins me now live. So, Anne, this is clearly an incredibly difficult situation for Phillip Schofield because he probably feels like his career is on the line. So this is a man, Phillip is a man, he's all about his career. He's all about retaining his position on television. He thought the only way to do that is by publicly disowning his brother. But you say...
No. First of all, I hope those were not his motives. I hope his motives for disowning his brother were genuine distress on behalf of the victims and genuine disgust. If it was simply to preserve his career, then I have even less time for it. But what concerns me as a former prisons minister is this. That man is not going to go away for life. He's going to come out at some stage. And it's in all our interests that when he does come out, he has some reasonable chance of leading a straight life and not creating more victims. And it is a fact, an absolute fact, that prisoners stand a much better chance of making something of themselves after prison if they've got the support of family, if they've been regularly visited by family in prison, if those families can conceivably help them thereafter with jobs and accommodation or whatever it might be. But the more support that they have, the less the chance of reoffending, and the less support they have, the greater the chance of reoffending. Sometimes we talk about rehabilitation if it's some sort of soft, wet, liberal, optional extra. It ain't. It's all about the protection of otherwise potential victims.
And so you say that by disowning his brother, then Phillip potentially hasn't actually done the right thing by wider British society.
Oh, I'm sure he hasn't. I'm sure he shouldn't disown his brother anyway. He didn't have to express any sympathy with the brother. He was quite right to say, they were despicable offences. All that is right. But just by abandoning his brother, by saying, I no longer have a brother, that guy is now alone, without family support, presumably without visits in prison. I don't know. Phillip would find it very difficult now to visit, I think, without an awful lot of publicity following it. And I just know, as I say, as a fact, not just as a theory, but as a fact, that the prisoners who have the support of decent family, and I stress decent family, not the sort who come in and peddle drugs, but prisoners who have the support of decent family have a better chance of coping when they leave.